listeners, usually we interview people in highest praise who have come over to the West Coast, and I take advantage of that and go and grab them and have an interview. But today I'm over on the East Coast. I'm over in Fraserburgh, and I'm with Paul Innes, who is the manager of the Solid Rock Cafe here in Fraserburgh. And it's great. All that hubbub and buzz that you heard at the very beginning was their monthly pancake morning, where they give pancake and jam and cream to those who come in as a fundraising activity, and it really is a great place. Now, Paul, welcome, and just tell us a little bit about Solid Rock Cafe, how it started and what its purpose is.
The Solid Rock Cafe began nearly 15 years ago. A lot of the churches and the area had a vision just to reach the people of the community, mainly young people. But after just a few months, Ben Ritchie, who sort of headed up the initiative, he saw a great need among the drug addicts in the town. Heroin had just sort of exploded in the early 90s, the mid 90s here in Fraserburgh, and before long we're just totally challenged. The Lord sort of led us that way and put people in our path, and we've just sort of been reaching out to the lost and the broken, the addicts and the alcoholics here in Fraserburgh for that time. Our tagline is providing drug prevention and cure in our streets, our schools and our prisons. And that's really our heart here in the Solid Rock Cafe, just to reach out to the streets, to reach the addict, to reach the lost and the broken in the northeast of Scotland. The prisons, we've recently started going into the prison. A new prison in Peterhead, HMP Grampian, which will house 500 plus prisoners. You know, that's on our doorstep. We need to be there for these guys when they get out. I think it's 80% of prisoners, when they're released, reoffend within 24 hours. So, you know, I believe that, you know, we can make a difference as we show the love of Jesus to these people. You know, lives can be transformed, and people that were once a scourge in society can start to invest in society and be an asset to their community. The schools work, you know, we've done a lot of schools work in the past, and we look forward to doing it again in the future, doing drug prevention, you know, just showing the kids that you know, the power, positive choices, saying no. You know, they don't have to take drugs to be accepted, to be someone for young people, not to make the mistakes that I made in life. You know?
Right. And are the churches behind this with you, Paul?
Yeah. I mean, we began, you know, as a multi-church initiative. There was a lot of churches involved that supported us and stuff, and maybe now not so many, but a lot of the churches in the town are absolutely incredible. You know, we wouldn't manage to make the difference we do in the northeast without them, to be honest.
Right. Now, I mean, this sort of job that you do here, or function, is quite specialised in a way. I don't think anyone can do it, but I think you can empathise a lot with these people, can't you? So can you give us a bit of your background, please?
Yeah. You know, I was a heroin addict for 10 or 11 years myself. You know, growing up, things were great. Mum and Dad worked very hard, and were brought up with a very, very good work ethic. But, you know, it's my brother and his mates, and I remember one time came across them round the back of an old building. They were sniffing petrol, and I was intrigued. I knew it was wrong. Grange Hill and the television had just started their campaign, Just Say No, so I was quite shocked and a bit, wow. But within a week, I was sniffing petrol myself. And that one choice, that night, you know, I lived my life for the next 15 years as a consequence of that one wrong choice. You know, that's the power of a choice. I went down a road of total destruction at the age of 16. I found myself a full-blown heroin addict. I went on to methadone. I was on methadone for 8 years of my 10, 11-year addiction. And, you know, things were absolutely horrendous. I stole from my family. I cheated. I lied. You know, I was in a long-term relationship, and I didn't work out. You know, the woman I was with, she wasn't a drug addict, so, you know, really hurt action behind me, really, you know. But, you know, one day my brother invited me along here to the Solid Rock Cafe, and I remember my first sort of thinking was, no, that's Christians. I don't really want nothing to do with them. They're very boring people, very dull. But I was very, very surprised that eventually I came in, I'd lost my job, and I met the guy that headed this place up then, back then, Ben Ritchie, and, you know, that guy showed me the love of Christ. He was absolutely brilliant with me, he was patient, and I knew by talking to him that he really believed in this stuff that he was speaking to me about. And that totally kind of opened my eyes to the things of God. And I remember one day, my mate, he came home from sea with a big wage, and he rang me up. He says, do you want to go get high? So I went out with him, and he handed me some money. He said, let's just buy as much drugs as we can get. And that afternoon, just down the town here in Fraserburgh, and my body totally collapsed. I'd overdosed. And I remember waking up in the hospital bed in Aberdeen, and it was Ben Ritchie, the guy from the Solid Rock Cafe, and Daniel Sutherland, another one of my friends, who were at the bottom of the bed. And Ben said these words to me. He says, Paul, have you had enough? And I decided, you know, that I really had enough. I'd had enough of losing friends to drug overdoses. I'd had enough of ripping off my family. I'd had enough of waking up every morning strung out, cold turkey. I'd had enough, just, you know, I had had enough. And that was sort of the start of my life, sort of transforming. Spent that Christmas, that was the beginning of December, really sort of searching and thinking, sort of calmed down a lot. January the 28th, I gave my life to the Lord here in the Solid Rock. Just absolutely incredible. My life, you know, started to change, but it soon became apparent that you know, I couldn't do it like on the streets or at home. So I went away to Teen Challenge in April the 19th, 2005. That was the beginning of an incredible journey. I learned about forgiveness. I learned, you know, that how much Jesus loved me. I learned Christian principles, how to deal with temptation, attitudes, different things, growing through failure, different studies that Teen Challenge implement into your life, you know, how to so I was down in Wales for 2 years. I did a Bible college for 9 months in Wales as well. I then went on to work with Teen Challenge for 2 years, just sort of reinvested, and I've been back here in Fraserburgh for 4 years, working here at the Solid Rock Cafe. So
obviously it seems that God had his hand in you, knowing what you had to go through and then what you could bring back here. I mean, Solid Rock, I mean, it's building on the Solid Rock. I mean, the centre of everything here is Jesus.
Absolutely.
And do you have maybe an example of something positive that's gone on here where people have come to Christ? Or?
Yeah, I mean, only two weeks ago we had our friend, we put on an event once a month here in the Solid Rock. We'll call it Street Church. It's very raw, you know, it's 75% hardcore drug addicts. And it's awesome, you know. I love the rawness. I love the carnage, if you like.
Yeah.
You know, that's the people that Jesus would have went for if Jesus was in Fraserburgh. A couple of weeks ago, we had Stuart, our friend from Easter House in Glasgow. He was a Teen Challenge graduate as well. He was sharing with us, sharing his story and a few points from his story. And you know, 7 of those guys responded that night and gave their lives to Jesus. And it was absolutely incredible. We took them upstairs to the counselling room, prayed with them, spoke to them, and we started a discipleship group with them. Five of them's coming along. They've been coming along the past 2 weeks. It's just been absolutely incredible. Give them a Bible, pray for them, and every week we get fresh testimonies from them of what God's doing in their lives. So yeah, it's incredible just to share hope with them, just to give them something
and
to spur them on.
Your acronym of HOPE?
Hope that is helping other people escape.
Amen.
Yeah.
And that's what you've been seeing here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I love the fact that I get to reinvest, that I get, you know, to take somebody else's, to just sort of be the bridge to Jesus, if you like. Just absolutely blown away that he would use me to impact people's lives, you know.
Well, thank you, Paul. And listeners, I mean, this is a great encouragement to us, because not only do they get pancakes here and coffee, but they get spiritual food, which is the water of life. And that's what we all need. And it gives an insight of what can be done over here in Fraserburgh. and we've got hope for our own town as well,
Yeah.
that can go on. So thanks again for the time that you've taken, Paul, and we bless you and your work here. And when I come back again, a few months maybe, I'll catch up with you and see how things are going.
Excellent, yeah, brilliant.
Thank you, bless you.
Vagabonds, come all you don't belongs, winners and losers, come people like me. Come all you travellers, tired from the journey, come wait a while, stay a while, welcome you'll be.